Hey everyone, I am so excited to jump on here. My ink, my story. We are jumping in full force into this. This is something new that has been laid on my heart to do, but I really think that this is going to have a huge explosion with people being able to share their hearts around their tattoos. And the topic was, hey, where are all my Jesus loving friends that have tattoos? And to have conversation around that. So I want to go ahead and share my first beautiful friend here. She jumped in full force. She is my first one to do this. I'm so excited. And I'm going to have her share who she is and a little bit of her heart. And we'll be going through some questions. So if you will, go ahead and share your name and who you are, and we'll go from there.
My name is Elisabeth Marti. I live in Georgetown, Tennessee, which is just north of the Chattanooga, Tennessee, so southeast Tennessee area. I'm a part-time chiropractor, full-time special needs mom,
Mm.
and all that includes. I have a son who will be 13 in March, who had a traumatic birth experience and now has CP and epilepsy, amongst other diagnoses, and he's a joy, and we like to take him on adventures.
She does, and she is amazing. And to see her out there with him is just every time that I've been present with him, he has such a gentle spirit about him and his heart. And I just love seeing you out there doing it. So. Well, thank you so much for joining me and being on here and on this crazy adventure. So, we're going to ask three simple questions around this. And the first one is I would love to hear your thought process, kind of your heart around why tattoos? Why did you choose to get a tattoo?
I chose to get it. Well, let's see. When I was 18, I really wanted to get a tattoo, but decided not to because I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted as a tattoo. And also the denomination that I grew up in, jewelry and tattoos and stuff like that were not acceptable. That was a no-no. So to not rock the boat, I didn't do it. I did get my ears pierced, but no tattoo. So uh I did not get a tattoo until my first set of tattoos was 2016
Mm,
in June. And part of my reasoning behind that was that I had started asking asking Trinity for a word for each year to focus on as part of a small group that I was part of. And I wanted a way to remind myself and to remember my words. And I like to say my testimonies on my arms.
mm.
So my tattoos I got from me, they're all on the inside of my arms, though I'm happy to be like, look at my tattoos. So, but they're where I can
Still,
I can see
still or
them
not? Let's see.
easily myself. So, um,
So if you want, so you said that each tattoo represents a story that kind of flows together.
yes,
So would you like to walk us through that story?
I will walk you through. I apologize for if the camera moves too fast, but I'm gonna show you the tattoo and talk you through my tattoos.
Oh,
So we're gonna start with the first set that I got. So let me see if I can get it for you. Um, so
no.
this is my first one,
Okay.
and the words across the top say peace, brave, and limitless.
Hmm.
And the symbol itself is called a grace. I got it from a fantasy series by Terry Goodkind called the Sword of Truth series.
Okay.
And each word is representative of a year. So it took like 3 years to like, I think I'm gonna do this, and this is what I'm gonna do. Peace is doesn't mean there's no storm. This was my word for 2014, so it was the year after my son was born. It was the first one, and there was a lot of trauma and grief in those years. So peace means that I can be still in the storm.
Hmm.
Brave is about finding your voice for whatever you need to find it for. I like to say that limitless is God is not limitless, and I'm not going to limit him. So I expect miracles on a daily basis.
Amen. Don't
Uh,
put them in a box.
no, no box. So I also at the time got this one says choices, and I have to show these are on my wrists, and this one says grace. I'm sorry if it's backwards.
That's okay.
But those represent, we always have a choice in how we react or respond, and we always have grace for how we react or respond. So
Mm,
it was a mantra for a long time, choices and grace, choices and grace for
absolutely.
me and for other people. So that was 2016. It took a few years for the next set. So I collect words. So let me show you, let me see if I can show you this one. Sorry.
No, you're
So I like to say this is my oak of righteousness tree,
mm,
and there are three words written in it. In the roots, it's kind of hard to see. It's
right
very well
here.
done. It says rest.
Mm-hmm.
Along the tree trunk, it says strength, and in the branches and the leaves, it says ascend. So
Mm,
rest does not mean lack of doing things because you have to rest to heal and restore.
yes.
You then have strength to ascend.
Mm,
So that was my second tattoo set. And then this one is a little harder to see, but it's one of my favorites.
I love
Or
that.
is my favorite right now. It's my latest tattoo.
Mm,
I don't know if you can
a
see, but
butterfly.
there are words with
Mm,
there's four words, vision, tenacious, speak, and beloved. It's a heart. I don't know if you can see.
yep.
Trying to And then each of the flowers at the top represent the birth month flower for myself, my husband, and my son. And then I just like the moth.
No, it's a
So,
moth. Okay, I like that.
yeah, it's a moth, like a Luna moth.
Okay, yes.
And each of those, I think, each of those words represent different things, like learning to speak. Like you need to find your voice, but then you need to speak. Tenacious, I'm just tenacious, or you can say I'm stubborn, whichever. Persistent, persevering,
Depends on who needs to hear it,
tenacious.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also just like a vision of where we're headed for the future and that I am beloved. I am Trinity's beloved. So, just a quick rundown.
I will tell you, as you were speaking every single word on your arms, I actually got a little bit emotional because I can feel the certain things of just a little bit of your story as you're sharing it. But due to your walk and who you are, and kind of on the backside, watching your story and all the things. So as you're sharing those pieces, I was like, oh, I know, it's almost like I could feel each piece of you.
Mhm.
And what really hit was I was like, how can somebody possibly say that a tattoo on your body would be a bad thing? Like, this is a walking, talking piece of you. And it is a reminder for you, not only every day to look down and be like, okay, this is what we're doing today, and we're going to keep going. And today it's a reminder I'm not only going to open my mouth, but I'm going to use it. And like, I just, I love your pieces. And is there one that when you were getting that tattoo, is there one that was a little bit harder or more um, of a season of your life that it represented something a little different to you in that time? Like it was almost like you felt like you had to get this one.
Oh, those would be the first ones. The choices and grace, and also the grace symbol in the books represents the lines represent like the I'd have to read you the description, but basically it's life and death and creation and the veil and how it's all intertwined. And um that one I got in 2016. not to be morbid, but part of it comes from my dad passed unexpectedly in 2012. We had Lincoln in 2013. My stepmother decided to leave this world on her own terms in 2014. No, yeah, 20, let me see. No, 2013, I think. My brother was in a bad motorcycle accident.
Hmm.
I had to deal with my stepbrother, and then in 2015, he decided to leave this world on his own terms. So there's a lot of grief. There's also other types of grief that I've experienced, and the just the choices in grace was just a mantra for a time when you had to have choices in grace for everything to
Hmm.
deal with.
Yeah.
So that was they each it takes me 2 to 3 years to kind of be like, yeah, I'm gonna get another one and find the pieces
I feel you.
from like pictures and the words and then take it to a tattoo artist and say, can you do this for me, please? Here are the pieces. Can you make it happen?
Yes. As I listened to your story, so you said 2016, and I'm not really going to go into my pieces and my story, but 2016 is on my arm right there. And
Hmm.
2016 was one of our hardest years. Every time you talk about it, you think it's going to be different every time. But we had Alec, my husband, almost was not here anymore. It was the second time around due to health, which he never gets sick, but that's a whole nother story in itself. We actually moved from California to New Jersey, New York to be urban missionaries, literally on the front lines all in that year. As soon as he got there, he got sick. We had no family, no one around. And then Grace Miracle, God massively did a miracle. And then he got out of the hospital. Shortly after that, I got pregnant. If any of you know, I have lots of kiddos, but I've dealt with a lot of loss along the way. And in 2016, we lost our little girl. And so those are her feet. And that's weird. I can usually get through the story without ever crying. But um, so to hear you say that, and then we had a couple other things that happened in that year, and it was a year that was extremely hard. But in that year, people will say in grief, this is the time to really push in and, become closer to God. And I was so angry. I'm like, if one more person tells me to push in more in my grief, I'm going to literally, like, I'm going to smack the crap out of them. Go ahead.
I um God is big enough to handle our anger because I have been angry with him and cussed him out.
Yep.
Um when my dad passed unexpectedly in 2012, I was had literally just finished writing his Father's Day cards, had my finger over his name to pull up the address to make sure I had it right when my stepmother called to let me know he had unexpectedly passed.
Hmm.
So I I I have cussed God out.
Yep.
I have
Right with you.
I have imagined standing while being held and just beating him on the chest because he's big enough.
Hmm.
And that's gotten me through that time just because I just knew. Um, that's been my experience with grief and God.
Hmm.
And I have had other instances where I've been cussing and praying at the same time, and he answers prayers even if you're cussing.
Yes, he does. And I'm a walking, talking testimony of that one too, because what you just said, I will never forget. I went in the basement and I screamed, I mean, the loudest I've and I let God have it in every way possible in that moment. And you know what happened? Is everything that I said, it was the best thing that I could have possibly ever did like you. And then I kid you not, within 15 minutes, I get into the car because it was the day of the celebration for her. And I get in the car and I go to grab my phone and someone had messaged me on Messenger, right? Person I don't know. And I open it up and I have this now on my wall. And she literally answered every single thing that I said to God in that basement 15 minutes ago. Everything. I mean to a T. She goes, "You don't know me." She goes, "But I've been on the backside watching your family and seeing what has happened and all of the things." And she goes, "God told me now that I needed to say this to you now." And she did. She answered it to a T. And then the beautiful thing, she actually sent that to me. She made it into a huge frame. And I carry that around everywhere we go. It's a reminder to me of how he truly it does. You can sit there and if anybody can take it, he can take it. So, yeah. Oh, I really am actually I would love to get to know you more. I feel like this is a very important connection. And I am laughing because I told Alec once we get past, that's my husband, Alec, once we get past the Jesus and the tattoo thing, I'm like, then I'm gonna throw in Jesus tattoos and maybe a little cursing in there. I'm gonna really push that envelope right there. But
Well, let's, as long as we can meet and have an old fashioned or something while we do it, let's.
right. And then I said, oh, I might have a glass of wine. What would people do? Oh my goodness, like yes. And you're in Tennessee, we're in Texas. We've got some journey coming up. I'll be sharing that here in a minute. God likes to do things in fives and numbers and all the things. He's like, hey, yeah, well, hey, some people are just movers, and that's what he does. So but yes, so I would actually, all these connections, I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting face to face again with you. Um, and going deeper. This is the first one. Doesn't mean we can't have more conversations and make them fun as we go. But one last question that I want to ask you. How can you help encourage someone right now that just doesn't have enough courage to step out and share their story around their tattoo? What encouragement could you give them?
Uh, I don't,
Or share their voice? Why should they share their voice?
because there's someone out there who has a similar experience to what you have, who needs the encouragement that you found from your tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite thing to do with people who are complete strangers and have lots of tattoos is to be like, hey, I like your ink. What's your favorite one that you have?
Mm,
And people light up and they'll start telling you, oh, I got this one at this time, or this, or this is my favorite, or this is, the significance of this one, or this one was just a, well, spur of the moment, there's no real meaning to it, I just, kind of thing. But I'm a Gen Xer, so when I was young, tattoos were taboo. Only only the bad people had tattoos, or they
were
were.
you in jail? Do you have tattoos because you were in prison? That's what I
Were,
want
were you
to
in the
know.
army? Were you a sailor? Like, were you in a biker gang? Kind of.
Are you a drug dealer? Mm.
So, things have changed, progressed in some ways for the for for better. Some ways not so great, but whatever. It's life. Good and the bad go together. But simply asking someone about them to tell their story, even if it's like an elevator ride, give me
Mm.
your elevator pitch about your
Yeah.
tattoos. Um, Opens the door for an opportunity to share your own. Like, oh yeah, I've got one here, and then you can, if you can give them your testimony or part of it. So,
I love how you said in the beginning, and that is my huge piece of message to all of this. The tattoos that you have are your walking, talking testimony, and you're walking it out. And I will tell you, she gave you a beautiful example, guys. It's real simple. When you're out and about, just if you see that tattoo on somebody, just go up and ask them, "Oh, what does that mean? Oh, I love that." It's an open door to a conversation. And she just gave you the words to say too. Um, it's it though. Like as soon as you do that, it's endless possibilities of what can happen in that moment. And you know, God's always talking too. He's always using the things around us to open those doors for us if we're willing to kind of listen and step into it. Um, those were beautiful words. Thank you for sharing that. And I just absolutely, is there anything that you um, have on your heart or that you want to share or that we can come alongside you and your son and your family? Is there anything that we can support you in on this journey? Anything on your heart that you are needing? Or I know I didn't say that in the beginning, but I kind of felt I should mention it or share it or
we just need solutions for financial abundance.
I like that. She took that and like this really broad thing and she's like, just there you go. So guys, I do have a question for you. So if people want to donate to what you financially are having to do for your son, do you guys have a way for people to do that, to connect with you on, or
Uh, I mean, we don't have any, we're not fundraising for anything in particular.
but
We
if
just
I would,
funds have been tight. God's had us on a journey of um of changing mindsets from a lack mindset to an abundance
mhm.
mindset, and it's a really scary journey, but there's been a lot of healing in the journey. So
Mm.
so um
I
yeah,
love
that's
that.
that.
Yeah. So, meaning, guys, so if you see something pop out there and I make a comment of, hey, these are the three areas that you can financially give or just love on or whatnot, um,
I
please
mean, I don't know if this is, I feel super embarrassed to say this,
don't be
but
embarrassed. Go for
I'm
it.
gonna say this. So yes, things are financially tight right now for us. However, and this, I guess I don't want to say it because it sounds selfish. There is a retreat that I would like to go to in February. That is a keto retreat that is hosted by Path to Wholeness by Brooke Waters.
Okay.
Um, I went last year and started keto, and I've done pretty well on it. I've lost about 20 pounds ish, give or take.
Congratulations.
But I have found for me as a special needs mom, and you don't realize how much you need it until you get to experience it, that being able to take that time away
Yes.
to refresh and heal and, kind of restart. And it's in Florida, it's on the beach. I don't really like Florida, but I do like the beach because I like to go hunt for seashells. But that's kind of been it's funny because I've been like, should I post it on Facebook? Should I not? That's really selfish. So
This is your permission, not that you needed it, to totally talk about it and post it. Because when I go to put this out there, we're going to talk about it and we're going to post it. Mhm.
and it's also brought to mind the fact that at some point in the future, I would like to figure out how to get other parents and mothers to be able to take that time away, that respite care, even if it's just a long weekend or something where it's paid for, where they don't have to worry about that financial burden. That's kind of one of those dreams God just put on my heart recently, amongst some others that we have.
That's really cool because what you just said right there is something that has kind of been in my thought process of, okay, with these that we are doing, I want to be able to take your heart's desire on some things and help move you along in those areas that you would like to move into. And first, starting with, she wants to be able to take this time for herself to spend time with herself and just all the different pieces of her mind and refreshment and all those things. It's important for mamas to have this, okay? And all that she does for her son and her family. So I really would love for all of us to partner along with her. So when you're listening to this video, I really just take a second to think, and I would love for you guys to partner with her. And you will see below of this video a couple different ways that you can do that. If that is in prayer, if that's encouragement, if that is in finances, because it does take money to get her to this retreat that she wants to go to, this trip that she wants to go to. And then, if it's something that's on your heart to help mamas that are needing a break, because this can become something much bigger that she's been wanting to do, why not? We can make this happen. It's our jobs as women, as kingdom as whole to come together and actually hold each other as we're doing these things. That's why it's so important to have connection. So I'm just calling all of you out right now. And we will have the information for you to be able to do that. So I want to go ahead and just tell you thank you, thank you, thank you for being on here, taking the time to share your beautiful tattoos. And I know there's so much deeper that you could go with it. And she did mention that she could even write something up with them. So if you want to hear a little bit more of her heart around different pieces, but man, I just want to honor you and thank you, and just absolutely, guys, let's do anything we can to give back to her also. So um, thank you again. Is there any last things that you want to say?
If you're thinking about getting a tattoo, go do it.
There you go. I love that. That's a perfect way to end it. All right, everyone, if you're thinking about getting that tattoo, don't wait any longer. Just go do it. All right, everyone, we will see you again soon. Bye.